I'm live. Okay, so running a little bit late, so I'm just gonna hang out here and see if anybody shows up for my live stream. It was one of these days when I just picked too much to do. Hello, hello. I could sing a song. Hey, won't you play? What's up, Marina? Here we go. We got a few people in the room now, 7 of them. What's up, everybody? J.A. Johnson, Bree, John Doe. What's up, y'all? Just gonna wait a little bit until everyone gets, some more people get in the room. Right on, Wendy. What's up? Good to see you. What is up, G Gamer? Welcome to the room. Sherry, what's up? Man, this is gonna be really interesting. So I've never really done this where I had to pay attention. Oh, there's the first question. I guess we'll just jump in. When are you heading back to Texas? Well, it's looking like somewhere around the first of the month. Charmin, what's up, James? Charmin, the leader of Strumshine and Copper Ridge, really is trying to keep me around as long as she can, and I told her I'd stay for as long as there was work. And so she's working hard to get me some more gigs with them. So it just depends on what happens there. I'm going to stay for as much of the work as I can get because I need the money. So like today, this is why I'm coming at you from an undisclosed location in the in the belly of the beast. You just left Bend, Oregon, and you're back in Vegas. Okay, yeah, that's a long desert trip. Do I earn much doing these concerts? Well, I wasn't joking when I said most of my life I've driven 100 miles to make $100. But today, I actually worked today, and that's why I'm coming at you from this undisclosed location in Portland, because we did a farmer's market gig for a couple hours, and like I made $65, so it's pretty good for Tuesday, you know. But or whatever day it is. But yeah, so ask away. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Let's see. Good to see me live. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate that. Hey, Bolt Gun. Hey, I got your email. We'll talk soon. What's my favorite brand of keyboard? Okay, so I've always played Yamahas or Korgs. And what I'm playing right now is Korg, is a Korg Chrome. And before that, I had a Yamaha CP5 stage piano. So it kind of depends on what I'm doing. If I got a pet, what type of pet would it be? Dog, definitely. I'm a dog person. I really don't have any use for any other kind of pet but a dog. And I'm hoping to get a dog. No, I haven't set up Super Chat yet. I need to get that happening. I'm not sure how to do that. But I'm busy working a lot. Can I keep my van there to have a place to stay for gigs? I could. That's one option, is to leave it there. But then every time I come back here, oh, you're welcome. I love sharing my life stories. Someone says, Uncle Sage, thank you for sharing your life stories with us. I could leave it there. If I did leave it there, I would have some place to come back to, but I'd have to deal with the X every time, and that's kind of weird. And plus, I kind of could use it, because if I took the van to Texas, then, yes, I did. I ate all of the beef jerky that you sent me from Tennessee, J.A. It was awesome. I ate every last bit. I might have a little bit left. It's 11. Oh, yeah, we still have light here because it's only 8 o'clock here. And I found a good spot, so I got some light. I don't know how much longer I'll have light. Let's see, what was the band you were in when you did Lilith Fair? Well, I think everybody knows it was Big Boss Groove. It's when I didn't do Lilith Fair. I refused to do it. I refused to open for the Indigo Girls, because that was basically one giant abortion rally. Probably cost me my career. Elvis, oh my gosh, my frenemy. I never liked your music or your cars, Elvis Tesla. I never went to Nashville. All of my friends went to Nashville, and they all got eaten alive in Nashville. And it's like I never went to L.A. either. Everybody that left Dallas and went to L.A. came back with stories of paying to play and playing for free. And neither one of those places held any appeal for me. I always played out of Dallas, Fort Worth. unless I was touring, and mostly I toured the West. But if I was going to choose another city besides Dallas Fort Worth, I probably would be. It would probably, yeah, it ate you up, right? Yeah, it does. It's a musician eating machine. It just eats people up and spits them out. If it's not one thing, it's another. Nashville, LA, same story. But Atlanta has a great music scene. I might end up in Atlanta someday. And of course, the red dirt scene out of Texas is rocking right now. And I always wanted to. My backup plan is to get an upright piano, or actually, I'm thinking a solar panel powered keyboard on a rolling cart system, and play the French Quarter in New Orleans. Because I think you can make enough money doing that to live down there, and you wouldn't need a car or nothing. But the hurricanes. Okay, wait. Everyone went away. Oh, there we go. You promoted a band in LA and Nashville. Oh, Medford. Yeah, so I went to high school in Medford, and I used to hang out down on Riverside Drive, and yeah, lost my virginity at the Expo Ponds. Elvis plays drums and guitar. Yeah, you never know. Life is strange. We might end up jamming together someday. So I don't know how to make this come back. There it is. Yeah, you can go. There's some places where street musicians make, like I talked to several people in New Orleans who played night shows out in the cover band circuit, and then in the daytime they did street musician and worked a lot of. Am I worried about my identity being exposed? I guess not so much anymore. I think my channel has morphed to a little bit. When I first started out, I was tangling with Antifa a lot, and right now, like today, I gigged right down here in the middle of them. Like everybody around here was like transgender and non-binary, and I've seen more trans people in the last 2-hour show I did this afternoon than I've seen in months. But I'm sorry, what were you saying? I don't know how to make this come back when it stops. There it is again. But yeah, so I'm not so worried about my identity, and I'm thinking about changing my name to Sage Wanderer and just owning it, changing my legal name to Sage Wanderer. I have a bank account with that name on it now. Somebody asked me some question, and then it fades. I wish I could set it so it just stays on. Ah, there we are. Only if you can improvise on some original music. Improvising on original music is what I do best. Is it Gay Pride Week? I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. It's play some gigs and make some money week for me. They keep calling me by my real name. Well, I did actually give away my real name in one video that I did. A few people know that in the very first video I ever did, I gave away my first name. But that's a long way from finding my identity. And it's Pride Month, huh? I don't know. I was right down in southeast Portland, right off of, what was that? Right off southeast Hawthorne is where I was today. Why does your girlfriend call me Seth? Does she think I look like Seth Rogen or something? Well, somebody asked me some questions since it's going a little slow here on the questions. Or I might have missed some questions. If I miss your question, just ask me again. But somebody asked me, what's my first name? You have to go find that out. Am I planning on doing some more shows? And will I be in Chicago anytime soon? Well, I've only been to Illinois one time, and it made me ill and annoyed. Illinois, no. I bought the bus. I bought a school bus off of eBay, and I went to Illinois and picked it up. But I never went as far north as Chicago. Am I going back to the homestead? Yes, definitely going back to the homestead. Probably around the 1st of the month. Wait, when did I realize Jesus was real? I feel like I've known that Jesus was real from the very beginning. Like from the very beginning, I can't remember ever doubting. One time I doubted whether God was real or not. And I toyed with atheism for just like 1 second. And it was right before that car got T-boned, that pickup got T-boned in downtown Dallas. If you know the channel, you've heard the story, where I surfed on the car when it was sliding sideways after it rolled in downtown Dallas. And I think that was maybe God's way of letting me know that he was there. He was like, he shook me up, and he's like, you could die, but I saved you. And then I went and played a show afterwards. How do I feel about the flat earth? Okay, so here's why I don't talk about flat earth. I don't talk about the flat earth because the followers of the followers of the flat earth theory are so passionate that they collectively borderline on bullies. And I don't like people that just want to beat me up and ram their opinion down my throat. And, you know, I've talked about how I've been through the flat earth theory so many times. And here's the number one problem I have with accepting. If you want to believe it, I'm fine. I'm not trying to say that the earth is whatever. I don't know. I just say this, that if the earth is in fact flat, that there are so many people involved in that conspiracy that it dwarfs the moon landing conspiracy, it dwarfs JFK conspiracy, it dwarfs the Illuminati conspiracy, because it's just would take so many people. Thousands of astronauts, thousands of engineers, thousands and thousands of pilots, and, you know, what's the people that make the maps? All these people would have to be in on it. So that's the only problem I have with it, is that, you know, I can't get past the fact that so many people would be in on it that it would be impossible to keep it a secret, and it would be common knowledge by now if the earth were flat. What's my favorite Johnny Cash song? Favorite Johnny Cash song? Am I awful to say that? Well, I guess The Boy Named Sue. I think that's a really well-written song. I also like the one about I made it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime. It's talking about the, it's in 1956, 57, 58, 50. I like that one too. He had a lot of great songs. Ring of Fire was written by my third cousin, which was June Carter. June Carter Cash wrote Ring of Fire. Yeah, there's some great Johnny Cash songs, you know, really. I gotta say though, you know, Folsom Prison Blues is probably the one I played the most. Will you be my uncle? Let's see. Will I be your uncle? Only if your mom, I don't know, my mom adopts your mom as a sister. I don't know, I'm lost. Yeah, Hurt is a really great song. Do you believe about the lizard people? Like as far as lizards and stuff, it's more interesting than any movie, but it's way out there. Okay, so you're talking about the reptilian conspiracy. The reptilian conspiracy is, I believe it, but I don't know if I believe that, like, people are like reptilian shapeshifters and that, like, they actually become lizards. I think maybe there is some kind of reptilian DNA interference in the human genome that is part of a bloodline, and I kind of talk about this in my series Unmasking the Dark Side. I talk a lot about how that there could be, you know, some dubious DNA that is making, I don't know, it makes people more than human or different than human, but I don't know about the ones that can, like, dislocate their jaw and swallow you, like they lay around with their lizard scales showing and stuff. Do I think the rapture is soon? So, for a long time, I was what's called a preterist. A preterist is someone that believes that all of the end time revelation, especially, is about the sacking of Jerusalem, and that everything that happened in the end times happened already. And so I believed that for a long time. It's actually because it's the historic teachings of the church. It wasn't until the Reformation that you started to get this, you know, end time eschatology that everybody is into now with the rapture. So do I believe in a rapture? I have a hard time believing in a rapture, in a secret rapture, because of this one scripture where it says that the dead in Christ shall rise first. So the idea that everybody will just disappear first, I mean, that's got to be coupled with the graveyards opening up and all of these bodies coming out and flying up in the sky. So I don't know. I'm a pan-rapturist. I think it'll all pan out in the end. I don't know. I just love Jesus, and if he comes early, then I want to be on that ship. But if not, I'll ride it out as long as I have to. Oh boy, that was a deep one again. Roll that one past me again. Yeah, John Doe, I'm not much of a beer drinker. I don't really. Well, you saw me if you watched the live stream. I was giving my beer tickets away to Harley. What's one thing I could do differently if I could go back in time? Well, right now, after a 30-year battle with this woman, the hurt, divorcee in me says I'd go back and skip her altogether and see where my life went if she wasn't there. But then, there's that whole dichotomy, that whole conundrum of, yeah, but then you wouldn't have your kids. And so I don't know. What's the one thing I could undo? I know what it is. If I could undo one thing, I would have came to Oregon. I feel like there's some kind of spirit in Oregon that got a hold of my whole family. And that I basically have, it's so much damage has happened to my family since I came to Oregon. That when it was time for me to move my family to Oregon, if I would have just flipped and moved back to Texas or any place else, I think I would have done better. And, but it is what it is. So I have that one regret because I feel like it cost me my wife and my kids, really, my relationship with them. So I don't know. Texas, Colorado was okay. It's just hard for me to beat Texas. I really love Texas. Let's see. Gematria. I'm not sure. What is Gematria? Anything west of Utah and Idaho is bad news. Eastern Oregon's pretty neat, but they're under the rule of the Portlandites. Wait, there's something about Trump. It's going so fast. How do I explain the archetypes of Jesus that were before? Okay. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're talking about archetypes of Jesus, Elvis. Or are you just busting my chops? Princess Di said one time she saw Queen Bee and hubby change and shipshape. Yeah, I mean, there's these stories. I love Southern Oregon too. I used to live in Gold Hill up in the mountains. That's where I had my conversation with Bigfoot. You guys might remember that. Gematria is the language of the lost. No, I'm pulled over alongside the road. I don't know much about the royal family. What about your message? Which message? W4R. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean there. What's up? Hey. New people coming in. Any more questions? Did I just left shape? I do have dyslexia. Wait, but overall, Isaac Cappy, how do you spell that? What do you think? Even more demonetized. I don't know. I do know that I got another level of shadow banning and a whole unleashing of trolls for even talking about Cappy. I did one video about Cappy after, he supposedly jumped off this bridge, and suddenly I lost so many subscribers, and I think it's just the shadow banning. There's certain things trigger them, and then also they release trolls on you. Like, I hadn't had a troll problem until I did that Cappy video. Trumpets in the Sky, Civilian MK Ultra Assassins. Well, I know a little bit about both of those. What info do you need? What do I think of the idea of no... Oh, it's going so fast. How's the Antifa in Portland? Well, I was in their neighborhood, so they don't really act up in their neighborhoods when they get all busy and go into other people's neighborhoods. So I was where they normally live today, and they're everywhere. They're everyone. Everyone down there is Antifa. I don't know if you could challenge mine. I know a lot more about religion, Elvis, than you probably think I do. I think you would be shocked at how deep my knowledge goes, just because I was raised in a household with the world's best theologians and preachers. I played chess with people that went on to run international denominations when I was a little kid. Have I ever blown a shofar? Yes, but I'm not very good at it. It's something you got to work at. What's up, Mr. Wonderful? Good to see you. You're a teologist, so you like tea? Tea time. Oh, Marlene, don't be so nice. Don't be so mean. I didn't know you were that mean. So supposedly FISA D-class is coming. No, definitely. So I'm going to talk about that for a minute. So before we go on, hang on to your questions, because somebody asked about the FISA D-class. So what I'm thinking is that Donald Trump was under this scrutiny and these investigations, and now that he's cleared of them, he's coming for these people, and they did commit some various crimes and various infractions when they applied for the FISA warrant. And when the truth is known, I think there's some prosecutable things there, and I think there's going to be some prosecutions. And I think I did a video today, which I haven't had a chance to check on, talking about the fact that Trump is going after these monopolies of the big tech like Google and everything. So yeah, I think I never thought Q was right. Q was saying stuff was going to happen, and stuff was happening, and stuff already happened. But I think, just what's happening in the open is very natural, and it seems very right. And I think that you're going to see this. Well, I think you're going to see the shoe on the other foot. We might see her actually get locked up. Would that trigger civil war? Well, I did a video called, this is over a year ago, called "The Summer of 2018 Clinton Prosecution Triggers Civil Unrest." And I thought if it happened last year, that would be civil war. So I think there is going to be civil war. It's just going to be street violence. I think the milkshaking thing is going to escalate to bricks and rocks and bottles and acid. I'm not so sure that people throwing those milkshakes aren't actually practicing for them throwing acid, because I can see that when they throw it, they make sure not to get it on themselves. And that's the thing about throwing a cup of acid on somebody. These acid attacks are what's next with some of these people, I'm afraid. I don't follow Q because he's let me down way too many times. I tend to fall into the AJ camp concerning, I feel, AJ talked, I believe yesterday or today on Q, yesterday, and he kind of said everything I feel about it. Hey, I may not share my identity with you guys, but my face is here. You have someone to challenge, and I don't like the anonymous drops. I don't trust them, and I think that too many people are putting too much trust in a Q character that they don't even know or see. They can't determine his personality. AJ, I hate to say the name because get in trouble for even saying the name, but some people say that he used to be Bill Hicks. Don't. There you go. Vernon's got it. There you go. Thanks, Belinda. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What do I think the 2-minute video you dreamt about will be? Well, I really am thinking heavily now about these deep fakes. The technology, whether it was there or not, is now out there for sure, and it's being released and people are using it. Is it for the purpose to discredit the 2-minute video, or is the 2-minute video a deep fake? I really don't know. I wish I had more details on it, but I do know that there's going to be a video that comes out that's going to trigger some major reactions. And whether it's a deep fake video or whether they just accuse them of being a deep fake, and deep fake is when they can, there's this video going around where they take Bill Hader from Saturday Night Live. He breaks into an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, and then suddenly he changes into Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you can't catch the change. You can't see the change. Do I believe Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead? No, I don't believe she's dead. I think that's more of this silly speculation. Just like I don't think that Podesta was under house arrest. I don't think that those booty things were were hiding their ankle monitors. Grand Supreme News. I don't know. When am I coming back to Texas? Probably around the 1st of July. I may travel again on the holiday weekend, the 4th of July weekend potentially. Thank you. I'm glad you were like the live stream of the live music. I thought it was finally time to show you guys what I really do, and I like that you guys got to see me rip fiddle, because I rip fiddle so much in the music, and I never get. People don't know it's me, so you got to see me actually doing it. It's kind of a weird alchemy kind of thing. Could Could the deep web video of Hillary be the 2-minute video? It could be. It could be. Yeah, I like the live chats. I need to do more of these. I could sing more. I do some singing. You guys have heard, if you've watched any of my Fishing with Sage videos, most of that is me singing. A lot of that is, I know one I did Easy Like Sunday Morning. I have a recorded version of that I've done. Yeah, I ripped some harmonica today. You played with Exile? You opened with them, or you were in the band? Well, Matthew, tell your wife I said thank you. Sherry, I like the new live streams too. You sing in the shower, but you can't live stream that singing in the shower routine. That would be a whole different kind of live stream. Jesus is the answer. It's just nobody remembers the question. That's the problem. Oh, that one went by so fast. Story time with Sage Live, Coffee Talk Live. I might do a story time live. I like telling stories live. I just have to choose a story. Did I hear your harmonica? I don't know that I have any. How can I hear it? Yeah, there is good acoustics in the shower. Everyone sounds good in the shower. I need to find out how to enable Super Chat. I'm just not super motivated to chase money, and that's always been a problem for me. Am I going to bring my RV back to Texas? That is currently the plan. Although I'm a little scared, but I think I'm just gonna fix it if it breaks down. I'm just gonna fix it if it breaks down. And to be 100% truthful, I got the old girl for free. I received her for free. So if I got to put some money in her to get her back to Texas, then so be it. But I can use that because right now I'm paying like over $100 a month for a porta-john, and that could go bye-bye, and I could use my motorhome as my portable septic system. Treason. Treason, treason, treason. You know, I did a video called Treason, Treason, Treason. And it's, you know, that is going to be thrown around. And this is really just part of civil war. You know, one side accuses the other side of lying. One side accuses the other side of rigging the election. One side accuses the other side of you know, making up stories or giving out false information. You know, the fake news thing. This has always been part of any civil war, and it's very much looks like the United States in 1859, 1860. You know, that right before the Civil War breaks out, there is, you know, there are these arrests, attempted arrests. You know, I remember there's one story of a guy in the Civil War, right before the Civil War, who gets into a fight. He canes another guy nearly to death, and then a bunch of congressmen jump on him. He's a congressman. A bunch of congressmen jump on him, and they drag him out of there, and he starts yelling, "Kill every one of them, Yankee blankety blanks, every one of them, kill them all, we're going to kill them all." And that was a congressman during the, you know, during the first Civil War. So, yeah. Something about 2020. The Lion and the Lamb and the Wolf and the Lamb in the Mandela Effect. Okay, so what they're talking about is that there's the Mandela Effect. I'm sure everyone knows what that is, but there's one particular Mandela Effect where the Bible seems to be changed. And then the King James Version of the Bible states that the lion shall lay down with the lamb, and the ox and something shall eat straw. I can't even remember. But anyway, the lion and the lamb is such an iconic Christian image. I knew people that had the Lion and Lamb ministries. I chose a lion and a lamb as an image for my ministry in the past, and that scripture has been a theme for ministries. And now, apparently, it's just changed. It's just changed, and now it says, instead of the lion shall lay down with the lamb, it says the lamb shall lay down with the wolf. And so a lot of people are saying that some kind of paradigm shift has actually changed the wording of the Bible, and that maybe they've opened up some kind of wormhole and we've slipped into an alternate dimension. But yeah, I mean, it's even from a song. And the lion shall lay down with the lamb. It's even a song lyric that's lifted right out of the Bible scripture, which apparently now in this universe doesn't exist. Honestly, I'm starting to become a real believer of the theory of the Mandela effect being related to CERN, and that they've done something there. They've opened up the portals to hell, and demons have come out, and that's why everyone's got Trump derangement syndrome, and that's why everybody's all, their genders are all confused. And I mean, you come down here in Portland, I hate to diss Portland, but you come down here in Portland, I seen a guy today, whatever, I guess he identifies as a woman, but he just looked like a man with long hair, and he was not an attractive man either, and he was wearing a dress, but zombified, just dragging his feet, like it was clearly this person is either heavily medicated or they're mentally ill. And so I just don't think there was that many people acting like this before. I talk about in my videos, yeah, it's totally related to CERN. I talk about in my videos how it seemed like everybody was having a party and everybody was having a fun time, and then along around 2012, 2013, people started losing their minds. And there's just been this wave of insanity, and it just gets worse. In one video, excuse me, I called it oh gosh, this is why I don't live stream, because it forces me to remember things. The spirit of war. I called it a spirit of war, or the spirit of destruction. Yeah, it's like people are demon possessed. I did a video called Trump Derangement Syndrome is Demon Possession. And I think I'm on the same page with AJ a lot on some of this stuff when it comes to, because he was talking about this the other day, and I feel the same way, that there's something wrong in the world, and maybe CERN did it. Is it just a coincidence that they're messing with the fabric of the time-space continuum, and then suddenly everything gets seriously jacked up and weird, and Bible verses change? I saw a person on the internet give a testimony, and I believe them, where they saw one of their old Bible books change while they were looking at it. One of their old Bibles. They were looking at it, and one minute it said Lion and the Lamb, and the next minute it said the Lion and the Wolves. The gay bomb. That is a conspiracy theory going around. It definitely, I don't know. I just think, as far as the gay bomb thing and sexual preference, I just really think that when you start to take societal controls off of sexual behavior, that people end up being more like animals than they are like traditionally cultural humans. That just kind of becomes whatever feels good, do it, law of the jungle sort of thing. It's the plastic. It could be. I got a video that I just did that was so MGTOW I couldn't really release it because I can't go down that road full bore. I like women. I don't hate women, but at the same time, I did a video where I was talking about how this feminization might also be genetic. Because one of the things that feminism does is it encourages women not to choose the strongest alpha male as a mate and therefore a DNA donor for their children, but rather they're choosing men they can control. So they're choosing men that are not alpha males to reproduce with. It only takes 3 or 4 generations until you get a generation of weakness, because the strong men aren't necessarily the ones that are fathering the children. Yeah, and then there's the whole atrazine. The whole frog thing that everyone makes so much fun of AJ about, but that's just a proven fact. There's stuff in the water that's feminizing frogs. Does that have an effect on humans? We haven't proven that, I don't think necessarily, but I think we haven't looked either. Thoughts about David Icke? I don't know. He says some crazy crap, but he's not any crazier than Corey Goode. And the space, the secret space program stuff, that stuff's really out there. Yeah, being a working mom really sucks. They screwed us up. They really screwed us up when they made it so that one person couldn't support a family. It takes both people working. That was their plan. They destroyed our economy and forced. I know a lot of people. Like my mom was not a feminist, but she had to go to work because we couldn't make it on one salary anymore. You think the 2020 election is going to be rigged by the Democrats? I don't know. I don't know that they can. There's too many of us. There's a wave. There is a red wave coming. So your daughter always wants to dominate any man she's dating. She chews them up and spits them out. See, so my daughter's doing this too. And this is why I went to Texas, because I won't be treated that way because it's rubbing off on her mom. It's this place too. Yeah, I think I already covered QAnon. I'm not a QAnon fan. Yeah, right. You got both parents loyal. Tangi says you got both parents working and you still can't hardly make it. There used to be a time when, a woman had the choice to stay home. And a lot of them made that choice. And now you can't even do that if you want to. And then they shun women who do want to stay home. Right, Jezebel needs her Ahab. It takes weak men to allow it. That's why I'm going to Texas. I ain't playing that. Homie, don't play that. Yeah, the third wave feminism is something different. It's the ultimate hatred of anything masculine. I agree. It's sad. And I mean, when we pulled up to this farmer's market, I looked around at the band and I looked over at Lonnie and I said, Lonnie, I think we've entered the neighborhood where white straight males need not apply. Yeah, it could be the Jezebel spirit. It could be, there could be a double dose of Jezebel spirit that was released out of the CERN thing, but it might be a result of feminism. It could be all of those things. It was a Homie the Clown. It was a Homie the Clown reference. I agree. I mean, the demonic hates innocence and they hate children, and they always have. It's all about trying to kill it before it grows. Wow. 4 kids under 12. Well, the Bible's okay. So somebody asked me, as a prepper, how do they best prepare to get a family with 4 kids through, what's coming? And unfortunately, I wish I had a better answer for you, but the Bible says that woe unto them that give suck, which means woe unto them that have suckling age children. And of course, back in the day, before bottles and all that stuff, a baby would breastfeed till about 3 or 4. So it's not good. I think if I was you, definitely get out away from the city as far as you can. Start living now like we lived in the 1800s, and train your kids to be self-sufficient and make sure that the family can survive if you kick the bucket tomorrow. I think that's the goal of every good parent, of every good husband and father, is to definitely, you want to make it, your goal is to make it so your family can survive if you're not there to do it for them. So an ego-centered person would try to make everyone rely on him, but a person that really loves his children and family would try to make them self-sufficient. Is Antifa still after me since my return to Oregon? No, I think they took me off their list when I went to Texas. I honestly just felt like, well, if they were going to get me, they might have done something in Salem, because I promoted the gig, and if they're watching the show, But I really think they've got, the whole fight has shifted. It's bigger than it was, and it's not about individuals so much as Antifa is preparing for national offensive. So they kind of got their hands full. I'm small fish. All right, good night, Mega JC Princess. I guess somebody's saying good night. Yeah, learn the medicine of your land. Well, yeah, sure, you got to at least know what the Indians knew. I'm definitely happier in Texas than I am in Oregon. But I have less worries in Oregon. If I wanted to buckle up under, the woman and do what she says, I wouldn't have any financial worries. And so I'm a little scared. But Texas, bury me in Texas. I haven't changed my opinion of Texas. Yeah, I'm a Texan. I worked so hard to fit in when I first got there at the age of 17 that at some point I just became one of them. I followed that old song, when in Texas, do as the Texans do. Well, Antifa, I think Antifa might, I think in the future, if we're just speculating, it's possible that groups like Antifa could be supported by and bolstered by Chinese special forces that might infiltrate the West Coast. I've always felt like the Chinese might land or invade the West Coast. So that's my feeling on that. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a paramilitary group, and it's getting more and more clear that that's what it is. Yeah, definitely. I was gonna actually, that's on my list to do a video on maps. You know, navigating without GPS. When I was young and I moved to first moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I got a job delivering flowers. And the boss just gave me a thing called a Mapsco, and he taught me how to use it. And it's a book of maps. It's all organized and gridded out. You can look up street names, get the grid of where the address is. And so it's what we did before we had GPS and phone GPS. And that's another thing. Your phone really isn't a GPS. If you're going to rely on GPS, at least get an actual GPS unit, because your phone simulates GPS. It's using triangulation from cell towers, not satellites. So if you're out of cell range, guess what? You're out of GPS range. But real GPS, Global Positioning System, relies on satellite triangulation. So get an actual GPS unit like a Garmin or something like that. And then you'll be ahead. But you should know how to use a map and compass. You should understand your areas. No aliens at all. Interdimensional or angels or demons. So I've talked about this before. And so I don't know what's the difference between interdimensional, aliens, angels, or demons. You know, my answer is yes. They're all of those things. You know, demons are angels. They're fallen angels. They're interdimensional in that they can go from one place to another place with no travel time. So they know how to open up, I assume, wormholes and step through, or use some other method of teleportation. So then they're transdimensional. Well, they also could be from other places in our known universe. So they might be aliens or just from another planet. What we know is they really, God, angels, demons, all of those qualify as alien, because what does alien mean if you look it up, except it just means they ain't from around here. And I think it's pretty clear that, you know, God's not from Earth. The angels and the demons aren't from Earth, so they are all aliens. And then there's the whole ancient alien theory and the whole idea of who were the gods with the little g, you know, who was Apollo, these people were clearly the Nephilim or the fallen angels or the offspring of the fallen angels. And that may be where we get giants, and it may be where we get the reptilian shapeshifters too. Alien is just a new word for demon. Sure, I'll buy that. You know, and I think that no, it's okay, John. Yeah, are you want to talk about the aliens and demons? No, just yell at me, because I'm new to this. This is my first live stream, so I'm not going to get every single, answer, or, I'm not going to be able to answer every single question. It seems like it's going by really fast, and I don't see so good. Spirits of the Nephilim. Well, I suppose they're immoral like humans. Einstein said fourth dimensional beings could appear and dematerialize. Okay, so here's one for you. What if Bigfoot, a lot of people think Bigfoot are interdimensional, fourth dimensional beings that can just pop in and out of our reality. That's why they disappear in the woods and no one can find their bodies, because they're not really from here. They just kind of pop in for a visit and pop out again. I don't know. I am actually not too far from Swan Island right now, Raymond. I pulled over in a random industrial area to make this video while I had light. Will Antifa ramp up before the 2020? Yes, I think 2020, all hell's going to break loose. Pop your popcorn now. Antifa's going to go wild. Everything's going to get ugly. If they can't win again, if they lose to Trump again, expect the kind of crazy violence we had last time, but way bigger, way bigger. How can you start prepping with little money and without breaking the bank? Okay, so Travis, I'm going to answer that question for you. What I would do to be able to start prepping without breaking the bank, and I'm a young guy, I would concentrate on the most important thing. And I think the number one thing for me is a good knife. Now, if you've already got that, then you just start going out from there. But you need a good knife. You need a good tent. Or a good tarp. You need cordage. You need a water filter. I mean, really, knife and then water filter. You can't go wrong with the $20 water filter from Walmart. The Sawyer Mini is a good, if you follow the instructions, it's good for, they say, 100,000 gallons, and I get lots of it for 20 bucks. A knife and a crossbow, that's a pretty good start, honestly. But a water filter, also a good canteen. Let's see, here, I carry mine. I carry my clean canteen with me everywhere. I carry it to the gigs and everything. This is a single-walled canteen, so you can use it to boil water. How do I feel about marijuana laws in Texas? I think they're ridiculous. They need to get on the bandwagon here. They're about to legalize marijuana nationally, and I think Texas is going to legalize it as soon as they really realize how much money's there. Texas is all about the money. But I have people in Texas are telling me that they really expect it to be legalized in Texas soon, but maybe it might take national legalization for it to finally be legal in Texas. But they're not right now in Dallas County. They're not prosecuting people who have possession in small amounts of marijuana. Yeah, T-Money, write me that letter. I'll check it out. Something about Lowe's buckets. Sympathy for the devil is a real thing now. You know what? There is just this real kind of wide acceptance of Satanism. Everybody's like, oh yeah, you can worship the devil if you want. When I was a kid, that would scare people to death. They would shun you in society, but they're just people openly are, engaging in devil worship, especially in Hollywood and the music business. These people are just, they're not even trying to hide it or code it anymore. It's just right out front. Me and my son were talking about, how Jack Black and in particular, just jokes openly about, all the Satanists in Hollywood. Will they hang John Brennan from a stoplight? Well, that's kind of a Handmaid's Tale of you, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he'll get Gaddafi'd. I think he's probably going to go to jail, though. He could potentially go to jail. Brennan is the one behind this phony dossier that they used to slander Trump, that they used to do this 2-year waste of money. It's all going to fall back at Brennan's feet. Of course, it's the CIA. As I've said in one of the other videos, it's always the CIA. Don't. Who's the guy that brought about the big scandal? Of course, it's the CIA. Brennan, yeah. He sent it to the FBI. He's the guy, he's the smoking gun. They're going to get him. That's why he's sweating so hard. We're still talking about prepping over there. Water storage. He's right about water storage. Don't. When will Trump keep his promises to jail Hillary? Well, I was saying earlier in the stream that I really think that that's what we're seeing. That he was not able, I don't care what Q says, nobody was able to do anything about any of this as long as Donald Trump was under investigation. As soon as Mueller, as soon as he cleared him, now he's free to go after justice for all those people. And I really think that many of those people, if not all of them, are going to face indictments and charges, and they may very well see prison time, and that could very well be Hillary Clinton's fate. I am 51. No coffee? This must be car talk, right? I didn't plan my day very well because I forgot I had a gig today, and I promised to live stream, and then I'm like, I'll have to do it afterwards, but as soon as I get out, and then so I just pulled over and did it. But it's awesome. We still got light. You can see me. That's cool. 98 people in the room. That's cool. We broke 100 once. Do I think a mini ice age is coming? I think it could be. I honestly do. I don't believe in the global warming. I think it's getting cold. What guns do I own or recommend? I recommend the 870, Remington 870 pump shotgun. I recommend the Glock handgun in any caliber, caliber of your choice. I recommend the Ruger 1022 rifle, and I recommend an AK-47. Unless you like cleaning your guns and you just want to like love the thing and make it part of your life, then get you an AR. But if you just want a gun you can be bad to and throw it in the closet and forget it's there till the crap hits the fan, I'd go with an AK. If you want to change your life, if you want to change your life, get an AR, because you'll get obsessed with it, or you kind of have to be. What was the name of my old band? You talking about back in the day? Well, I was in a band called Big Boss Groove, but it was before the internet. Good luck finding anything about them. But people that lived during that time knew us well. 30-06 for deer. I do like that rifle. I have a 270 scoped rifle for deer. The 308 I think might be a good choice in a scoped rifle, because you might be able to pick up 308 ammo off of the battlefield. The 308 ammo might be more common. So it's like weird because we get like more than one conversation going on at once. I'm going to be in the Pacific Northwest at least for the whole month of June. Yeah, we kind of covered the deep fakes earlier, but I wouldn't mind talking about that some more. You know, there's this video going around that shows Bill Hader, and he's it's a video that somebody did. Yes, I carry a Benchmade advanced folding combat knife daily, but I've lost it. I think it's in the cabin in Texas, and right now I have my son's Spyderco. So this is like really bad if you're a little bit ADHD. What was we talking about? Somebody asked me a question. Ask that question again that I got half answered. Oh, okay, so are you in the Portland area? Somebody's talking about meeting up. I got to meet John Wayne. He came out to the show. Oh, deep fakes. Yeah, there's this video. Yeah, deep fakes. So there's this, the 22, I'm so bad. The 22 is for squirrels. But yeah, the deep fakes, there's this video, this Bill Hader, and he'll just break into different, he's a great impressionist. So he breaks into Schwarzenegger, and then he breaks into Pacino. And so somebody with this deep fake software morphed him into, before your very eyes, he turns into Schwarzenegger. Before your very eyes, he turns into Pacino. And then back into Bill Hader. And it's so smooth that even when you slow down the video, you can't tell where he changes. You can't see the edit. So clearly they could have Trump doing whatever. I mean, someone could produce a video that backs up the Steele report with Trump and the Pee-Pee Gate and the hotel with the golden showers. I mean, anything is possible with you. You really can't believe what you see anymore. The things that you see could very well be manufactured CGI, and so it really goes back to the old days when they used to say, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. I'll tell you, I want to do something on, and it's kind of in the deep fake thing, and it's because this, I'm not sure if it's demonic or not. Have you ever heard of face changers? The Japanese face changers, that they can change their, what looks like a mask, they can change it so fast that you can't even capture it on video. It's a form of magic, and they'll just change this mask, and they'll just like do their head like that, and the mask will change. And some guys can change like 300 times in a minute. It's ridiculous. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do some kind of video on that. Yeah, I believe that Trump was a well-known germ phobia. He had germ phobia too. I don't believe any of that's true, but they could create a video using this deep fake technology that they would absolutely look very real. And, you could get your expert to say it's not real, and you could get your expert to say it is. And, then it's a he said, she said, red light screaming contest, Santa Claustrum oil. I don't know what that is. I'll have to check into it. Boss Skaggs rocks. I am a Boss Skaggs fan, and musically for sure. There's software that can detect fakes. Well, yeah, but I mean, a bunch of people in America believe Donald Trump is a traitor and that Alex Jones is a murderer, and they have absolutely no proof just because somebody told them. So even though if you have this software that's supposed to be able to detect a fake, it's deep fake technology is going to muddy up all of this video evidence to where video evidence is going to be hard to really sell to the public. And it'll be easy for either side to dismiss it and go, well, it's just, it's just technology. I don't believe my candidate would do that. When the Clinton Chronicles first came out, which is the very first stage of what we now call the Clinton body count or the Clinton crime family, but this movie called the Clinton Chronicles that came out while Clinton was still president. Back then, we didn't have the internet, and we were duping these tapes on VHS, and people would get together and view them. And somebody was doing a viewing at Southwestern Bell, where my baby mama worked, where my wife worked, down at Southwestern Bell. And I went down there, and they had a break room in the high-rise at Southwestern Bell, and we watched the Clinton Chronicles. Well, in there was a liberal, left-wing Clinton supporter, a black woman, and she got so mad that when they started accusing Clinton of being a murderer and all this stuff with the kids on the railroad track and the state troopers that worked for him, and his involvement in all of the stuff that went out of Mena, the Mena, Arkansas drug ring thing that he was a part of. And when they first started talking about that, she popped a gasket. It's the first time I ever saw what we now call Trump derangement syndrome. She started screaming, "Don't you say that about my president. That's my president. Don't you say that about my Mr. Clinton. My Mr. Clinton would never do that." And we had to throw her out of the room. We had to physically push her out of the room because she lost it. And so I think that even when people are faced with video evidence, with this deepfake technology, it'll be easy for most people to just totally dismiss it and go, it's a setup. I don't believe it for a minute. Well, my wife's family comes from a long line of AT&T and Southwestern Bell phone company people. Am I going to be in Washington? I do not believe I will be in Washington anytime soon. I think, this is as close as I'm going to get as what I did in Portland today. What's up with Ruth Bader Ginsburg? She's so old. She's like one of those old poodles that when they cough, dust comes out because they only take a breath every 10 minutes. You ever see one of them really old dogs? I saw a Yorkie at Multnomah Falls one day, and that woman told me that little Yorkie dog was 19 years old. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is just so old that I don't know what's holding her up. It is kind of Weekend with Bernie with her, I will say this. But I don't think she's dead. I don't think there's this big con job keeping her, keeping her vote alive after she's gone. Farts dust. Yeah, right. That's she's just really old. How frequently do you have breakfast or dinner? Well, I guess I skip breakfast a lot, and I have dinner most nights. That was an odd question, but I did say you could ask me anything. So we got this whole other stuff going on here. The birth date of Jesus. That is interesting. Well, clearly it had nothing to do. I haven't seen Rob Skiba's take on it. But I have my own opinions on the birth date of Jesus. I think it's pretty clear that he was born during the tax collection time. And so I think that at least narrows it down to a 30-day period, and it's nowhere near Christmas. So it's not, there's no doubt that Christian holidays were, they were captured. They were captured by the pagans. They were originally pagan holidays, and they just took Christian themes to the pagan holidays to try to get the pagans to come to church instead of having their pagan parties. I have no idea who Teddy Spaghetti is. You think RGB's dead, huh? Well, didn't she? Yeah, she ruled recently in a couple of cases. She showed up to work. You know, people have been saying she's dead for a long time, but she showed up to work recently. At least that's what everyone that works there say, that she was there in the office. She's working a lot from home because she's really old. In the 80s, did I play any clubs in Fort Worth? I played the Hop. I played the Hop in Fort Worth quite a few times. The Mark of the Beast. What do I think the Mark of the Beast is? Well, it's looking more and more like the RFID chip. I did a video called I Was There When They Invented the Mark of the Beast. And I used to work... well, you know what? I'm being a little more open about my past. I used to work for Electronic Data Systems, EDS, out in Plano. And I used to videotape their highest level internal meetings between all of their... I used to do the top 100 executive meeting. I did the top 30. I was in that too. They did the top 30 of their executives from the globe. And so, you know, I was there when they really introduced that Toshiba chip, which at the time, and this would have been like 1999, 2000, that Toshiba chip was the size of the ball of a ballpoint pen or the size of a peppercorn. And that thing, they wanted to put it in the money, and it was right there when all the people went, hey, we could put it in ourselves. We could keep all our medical records on it. We could just scan it. And, you know, and they were like, yes, we could use it for money. We could use it to replace credit cards with. So I think it's going to be an RFID chip. How's it still daylight here? The sun is going down, and I just got my phone is really gathering good light right now. The clone situation. Well, you know, they're cloning pets. I just never thought I'd live to see the day when people were openly having their pets cloned. I can't remember what famous entertainment personality is on their third clone dog. They haven't had a new dog since the first one they loved. They just keep cloning the other one, cloning the dog over and over again. It's been going on for years. So are they cloning celebrities? Excuse me, I don't know. It is possible. You're a clone of yourself. I'd like to clone myself, but I'm afraid it would be like, what was that movie, with Michael Keaton, where he makes a bunch of versions of himself, clones, but each one gets dumber and dumber until the last one's just an idiot because he keeps diluting his DNA with the cloning. Schlotsky's, you're making me hungry. Multiplicity, that's the name of that movie. Barbra Streisand. Are you referring to the Barbra Streisand effect or the BS? Ever heard of Research Donald Marshall? I don't know that one. Oh, the island of the clone spare parts people that think they're real humans, but they're clones that are just kept around for spare parts. That was a creepy movie. Donald Marshall. No, I guess I'm going to have to look this person up. I don't know who Donald Marshall is. Yeah, I think the Mandela effect might be real. I think they've opened up a portal to hell. Monica Lewinsky or Michelle Obama? Who do I prefer? I don't like either one of them people. They're not my type, either one of them. And I think Michelle Obama might be Michael. Just saying. Don't forget to hit the like button and help this channel. I agree. Oh, it's Barbara. Is it Barbara that clones her dogs? Oh, okay. Maybe that's where I saw it. That makes sense. All right. See you later. What do I think about 5G? Well, I will tell you this. Something in the Salem, Portland area is killing me. When I left, I got my health back. My stomach stopped hurting. My knees quit hurting. I mean, well, you saw me. You saw me in Texas. I was doing really good. And I come back here, and I'm already starting back with the symptoms. My knees are getting all hobbly. I'm getting stomach problems. And I haven't been back but a week. So there's something going on here. Could it be 5G? Could be. Is it something in the water? Could be. But there's something happening here. You know, is it my camper van making me sick? I thought about that too. It's one reason I want to take it to Texas to see if I stay in it there, do I have symptoms there? But I really think it's the 5G or they're putting something in the water. Yeah, nothing's been the same since CERN. I totally agree. I totally agree. Charles Lawson, that sounds familiar. I might have seen him. Do I see a lot of demon-possessed people in Oregon? So that's actually a really good question. I'm going to spend a minute on that. So one thing about being a former exorcist is that it's kind of like Gaydar, only it's like really intense. So I can sense demon possessed people, and there are way more of them than you think. And most everyone who isn't really seriously on fire for God has some kind of demon attached to them, following them around or with them, and I'm aware of their presence. And if I went around trying to cast out all the demons I encountered, it would be a constant state of war, and it would cause chaos and confusion, and that is not orderly or godlike. So it very well could be that, I actually have to make a decision to not engage with the demon-possessed people. They're everywhere, especially in Oregon. Seems to be a much higher level of demon possession amongst the people in Oregon than in Texas. And it's just, it's the Bible Belt. The Bible Belt place really is kind of I won't call it a demon-free zone, but demons don't act in the open there like they do here. And so I just have to avoid them, and I don't do battle with them unless they get in my way. And honestly, they're really scared of me because my reputation for what I did when I was in Texas, I tore down the enemy's camp. I went into their camp and I took back what the enemy stole from us, and I burned down their tents. And I did it over and over again. I snatched children from the jaws of hell. And I kicked the devil in his teeth. And for that, he'll never forgive me. But the little demons, they don't like to mess with me. They don't want to cross my path. And so I often, it's not hard to just ignore them because they're trying to hide anyway. So that's how I feel about that. Now, okay, so do I believe we landed on the moon? Well, I did a video about that, Todd. I did the video about the moon, my amalgamated moon theory. I think that we went to the moon, but the reason that the video footage was faked is because we couldn't show them what we found on the moon. I do believe that there was definitely a transmission captured on an emergency channel, on a medical channel, where the astronauts describe UFOs sitting on the rim of the crater they landed on, sitting there watching them. Yes, aliens in spaceships. Are they demons? I don't know. Are they inhabitants of the moon? I don't know. Are they Nazis from the secret space program of New Schwabenland in Antarctica, and they have a moon base? Well, that's what Corey Good says. I do believe that it was the guy that did Eyes Wide Shut. It's not Scorsese. His daughter is a truther now too. Kubrick. I do believe that Stanley Kubrick was responsible. Him and I think Spielberg might have been behind. Was it Spielberg? Two big movie names, Kubrick and someone else. They actually did the footage. Kubrick is quoted at parties saying that his best work he ever did, he can never take credit for, referring to the moon landing footage. So I think that they went there. I just don't think they could show the footage, and they had to show the American people something because everyone was sitting in front of their TV. The flat moon theorist. Queen Mermaid of the Sea. I don't know what that means. So I don't know what to say. I'm kind of watching the stuff here, but I'm rapidly running out of daylight. I know, how do I still have light here? That's one thing about Oregon. These sunsets seem to last forever. I guess it's because we're so far west. So I think I'm going to wrap up the live stream. We've been here for 1 hour and 8 minutes, and I'm going to get some dinner because I'm starved to death. I played a show and I had some jerky and some strawberries, but that's not a proper meal. So I got to go find some food. But thank you guys so much for joining me on my first ever live stream Q&A. I'm going to do more of these in the future. This was fun. It was like a conversation. I hope you guys forgive me for not getting all of the questions answered. I'm sure I missed a few, but this is hard, everything going by so quick. But it was fun. I really had a great time. Thanks to everybody who was here, and I guess we will see you next time. Keep an eye out for these. Love you too, guys. Love you so much. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna try to get the super chat hooked up next time, so I can get that revenue stream happening. Every little bit helps. And yeah, so we'll see you guys next time. I've never properly stopped a stream before, so I'm not sure how to do it. My battery always went dead the last 2 times we did this. So God save our republic, and God bless all of you. And let's see if this